Okay, welcome back. All right, today we are going to do this worksheet, force and impulse worksheet. More specifically, let's focus on the force part of this worksheet. All right, so let's try question number 2. Before we can do this worksheet, you need to be familiar with this equation. F equals to mass times acceleration. Okay, if you're not sure about this equation or where this equation come from, I strongly advise you to read the textbook or your revision or your notes. Okay, go through that before attempting the worksheet. This worksheet will not benefit you if you do not understand the theory. Okay, all right, let's take a look at this question here. So this is a typical force question. So it says that there's a box, all right, two forces act on it. Both of them are pulling it to the right hand side, acting 30 newtons and 60 newtons. The question asks what's the acceleration of the object if the mass of this box is 6 kilograms. Okay, so force is a vector, meaning you can add and subtract them. Okay, and their direction. Force is a magnitude and the direction. So this box here, two forces are pulling in the same direction. So what we're going to do is, since force is a vector, we're going to add up the force. Okay, we can combine both forces as one and says is moving 90 newtons to the right. Okay, the box is 6 kilograms. Okay, now we can use this equation. Okay, force equals to m times a. Force is 90 newtons equals to 6 kilograms. What is the acceleration? Okay, plug into your calculator. 90 divided by 6, which will give you acceleration equals to 15 meters per second per second. All right. Okay, so let's try the next one. This time the force, the 30 newtons has flipped side. It's now pushing against the 60 newtons. So again, if I were to redraw the forces, it will look like this. It will just be 30 newtons. Okay, if you find that a bit confusing, it will just be, let's draw it on the right hand side. It will just be 60 minus 30, all right, which is 30 newtons pointing to the right hand side. All right, because now the 30 newtons is in the opposite direction of 60, so it's going to cancel off some of the 60 newtons. 60 is still bigger, so it's going to be 60 minus 30, which is 30 newtons. So again, just use by the equation. All right, so force equals to 30 newtons, mass equals to 6 kilograms, acceleration, this is what we want to find out. So just plug into your calculator again. 30 divided by 6, you can mentally calculate it, 5 meters per second squared. Okay, let's try another question. All right, this time question 1. All right, yeah, I know I should put question 1 later. Okay, question 1 is a bit tricky. All right, it requires you to understand better. Not impossible to do. All right, it still requires more understanding. So the question says that initially a box of 6 kilogram is being put at 4 newtons. Based on F equals ma, all right, since there's a force of 4 newtons and there's a mass, there should be an acceleration. But the question here, the confusing part, some of you ask me, is that why is the acceleration, it says here, it says that constant velocity, so which means acceleration equals to 0. Why did that happen? Okay, is that typo or mistake? No, the reason why is because there's actually a frictional force, which is not stated here. Okay, but we assume you know about it already, all right, or you're gonna have to assume that there's a frictional force here at 4 newtons, cancelling out this. So the net force, 4 minus 4, will equal, your force will be equals to 0, and then your acceleration will be equals to 0. All right, so not so straightforward. Okay, you need to know what's really going on. Okay, so now the force, it says that the force is now changed to 22 newtons. Okay, the friction is still 4 newtons. All right, so doesn't change. The floor is still the same floor, same box. All right, so same floor, same box. The only thing that changed is the pulling force. Okay, it shouldn't affect the friction, so it's 22 newtons. So how do we do this question? So in order to find the net force, so what we're going to do is take 22 minus 4 newtons, and we get 18 newtons. All right, so again, plug into the equation. F equals ma. All right, 18 equals to 6 kilograms times a. So a equals to 18 divided by 6, you get 3 meters per second squared. All right, okay, and that's how you do force questions.